Shalom, shalom, shalom. Today is June 9th, 2018 or 2018, June 9th, 2018 or 2018. And I asked the fire of the Holy Spirit to show me a sign in reference to what's going on in the cosmos and to show me a sign in reference to a forecast. And for this reading, I use the Black Moon astrology cards. For those of you who don't know, I am a certified numerologist and a certified tarot card reader. And the card deck I used was the Black Moon astrology cards. And at at this point of time, what was shown was Leo, which deals with the will, Aries, I am, Jupiter return in reference to benefits, fortune, prosperity, higher learning, education, Cancer in reference to feelings and emotions, Gemini in reference to thinking, clarity, the intellect. At this point of time, the message for humanity as a whole is being creative because we're dealing with the fifth house, sign of Leo, ruled by the sun. We're dealing with leadership, courage, boldness. And the sign of Leo rules or reigns over children, creativity in the stage or public arena. And so when we're dealing with the frequency of Leos, we're dealing with great actors, television workers, book publishers, artists, salespersons, posers. And so this is a sign and this is a message in reference to the frequency in the air at this point in time is to be creative, whether you are a writer or an actor or working with publications or in the media. This is the time to express yourself and doors are opening up. And what also came up is the Gemini, which dealing with the intellect and the power of speech, the power of words, charm, being charming, and communication. So this is time. This is the time for communication and expressing yourself again. But more on that later. What also came up is Aries. Now keep in mind, Leo and Aries, both of them are fire signs. So when you're dealing with fire in general, you're dealing with, especially with Aries, you're dealing with war, politics, military, law enforcement, courage, competition. You're also dealing with violence, ego, selfishness. Okay. Now, the Leo aspect ruled by the sun also deals with politics, leaderships, or the leaders of today, or you can say the leaders of tomorrow. And Aries deals with leadership to some extent in reference to a military general or a sergeant or a lieutenant or a DT or detective or someone who has a high position in law enforcement, military, or a coach in reference to sports, because we're dealing with a competitive energy. So with Leo, we're dealing with creativity, publications, okay, and being in the spotlight, acting, whether it's Hollywood, etc., playbill or theater, however you want to word that. And but with the Aries coming in, which is also another fire sign, is saying not only be bold but be courageous. Although the Leo, the lion, is saying that too, but with Aries, God of War, is saying This is a time to be competitive. And if we, as a species or as humanity, as light beings, which is our true nature, although we just happen to be inhabiting a physical body, if you fear competition, then you've already lost. This is the message of the god of war or the Mars energy. You've already lost the battle, because in every area of life, especially when it comes to sports, when it comes to business, and especially sports and business, in many areas of our life, there's always competition. There's always that challenge. But what the God of War is saying is not to be blinded by your ego, but the key is to be somewhat competitive. And because there's a time to unite, but there is a time for war and competition. And you have, so what the Leo energy is saying, okay, now is the time to stand out and shine your light. Aries is saying, as you shine your light, be competitive. Don't be afraid to go to war. Don't be afraid of competition. And take what is yours. You know, claim what's already yours and project it out, which comes from within the soul or your inner sun. Now, as we get to the Jupiter return, that deals with benefits, as I stated earlier. Jupiter in the tarot is associated with the Wheel of Fortune, so we're dealing with fortune, we're dealing with chance, we're dealing with risk taking, we're dealing with lottery, we're dealing with any form of gambling, we're dealing with randomness, we're dealing with fortune and misfortune. The wheel constantly turns. But we're dealing with benefits and expansive. So this is a time to expand your consciousness, or we have to expand our consciousness as a whole and philosophize and be in deep thought and learn new things and be willing to travel and to move, and not be stuck in a rut here. And as we get to Cancer in reference to feelings, energy, emotion, or emotion, and intuition, listening to our inner voice, and paying attention to our dreams. Our dreams, our dreams, our dreams, our dreams is where the secrets lie, the mysteries lie. We want to know what's in front of us. We want to know what's hidden beneath the surface. We need to tap into our unconscious minds where the information is buried to make it conscious. It's like what Albert Einstein, if I'm not mistaken, called the theory of relativity. To make the unconscious conscious, as Carl Jung would normally say, or Manly P. Hall, etc. And as we move on to Gemini, ruled by Mercury, god of communication, the winged messenger. The winged messenger. Stay tuned for part 2.